Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Yep, so, you know, I didn't sleep early today at all, but I guess I had a little bit of, decided to just walk today. Usually we should be doing the stairs though, but it's fine. Yeah, I really should be doing, I'll see how it goes. But, yeah, decided to go walking today, but this time we're doing it faster, because we're not doing a sleep walk, I think, classy. But usually we do like 3 speed, we start sleeping, but if I go fast speed, then I'll stay awake, I think. Almost crashed this morning, as usual. Well, not as usual, but I guess for like 1 millisecond, I was off course. But then, thanks to the universe, flicked into the normal road again. And it was really micro, but yeah, maybe an overreaction too. Oh well. So yeah, we're going to be going fast speed today. I think from my previous times doing fast speed, we stuck with 5 speed because 6 speed was like a bit too much. Yeah, 6 speed wasn't really our stride. It was like maybe 5.5 was alright. I don't even remember. But when it comes to fast walking, it feels like 5 speed's almost perfect. Because 6 is like a little bit too fast for a normal. Yeah, you can only swing your arms as well. Yeah, the sleep is trying to get to me. Even at 5 speed, it's trying to get me. It's trying to get me. Alright, temporarily sleep a bit. Well, not sleep, but the sleep beehive got me for a bit. But we're back at 5 speed with a little loot, of course. So it seems like we're activated. Never mind. Wow, that really is all in the mindset, huh? Because when I was closing my eyes, everything in front of me looked a bit different, and a huge tree fell down over there, and like the next thing summoned. But then I opened my eyes and I'm like, what tree? Where am I? Oh, yeah. What am I saying then? There's no tree here. I haven't even collected any resources here. GG. And there's nothing here to attack either. Yeah, it's gonna be like a story video today. There's nothing to say. Haven't even talked much. More like in a dream world. There's actually nothing to talk about. Nothing to say. I don't know. All I know is that just chilling with the coworkers. What? Oh my god, I'm actually dreaming. What was I saying? Don't know, but there's nothing else to say. And this place here is a bit. It's mixed, you know. There's water jars for the kiting. Then there was that guy with the furnaces. And I still need to export the furnaces. Okay, I'm in a dream world for real, because why am I what am I saying? I'm talking some I'm talking about the arc thing. My bad. I was talking about the arc thing. That's why. I forgot there's a whole bunch of thoughts we're gonna have to kill real quick. Alright, we're back here for some reason. Apparently I'm back now, I was sworn here as well. Okay, and I'm actually dreaming, what the hell? Why am I saying multiple things? Oh yeah, Golden Hour's pretty good right now. Somehow we've been talking to ourselves for a bit. That's alright. Golden Hour's like 4 people. We basically walked the entire time and slightly, not slightly, we half dreamed, which is not good. I was supposed to walk past the use system machine, but I decided to go check in. And look what it did. When you do sleepwalks, it actually just disappears in front of my face. Because all of a sudden it's now 29 minutes. Like, when was that? When did that happen? I closed my eyes for like 5 seconds and now we're here. I've legit time traveled again. Interesting. That's what five seat was supposed to be at the speed to make me go fast and wake up. But I guess we just fell asleep again. I need to work on that. I need to stretch, but there's no way to really stretch. Oh, I finished water as well. Sorry, I literally just woke up. For yeah, 30 speed's literally a trap for us because we were like not even sleepy, but we just disappeared. Also, no, there's like not really many stretching spots to kind of work with here. I guess we just do the manual stretching. I'll just quickly do some manual stretching and then yeah, I'm only gonna target the ones we need. It's fine. Yeah, we need to like sleep early to do that. I don't know. We were going 5 speed at the very beginning, but then I think the sleep got me, and then I went to 3 speed, and then all of a sudden everything blacked out. Everything blacked out, and then I guess after a few seconds, it had been like 30 minutes somehow. It's not. Man, you really need to work on that. And once we're done with the stretches, we could start this thing. All right. Oh, yeah, I know the drill now. Right? Just dips and see if there's anything we can say. But probably gonna do a story video. I mean, I'm not asleep right now, obviously. Somehow we just fell asleep during the walk, and somehow the temperature is really hot right now as well. But well, it's the usual. Try to get some water done as well. Is there anything to do today? Yep. Gonna be doing some Geno crisis today, obviously, and that's about it. By the way, I pre-sprayed this. GG. I'm retarded. That's not clean. I just realized that I sprayed this, right? I sprayed this before I did the walk, but I didn't wipe it, so I'm just collecting all the germs. Yeah, I just collected all the germs. That's my fault. That is retarded of me. When you spray things, you're supposed to wipe it because if you just spray it, then I mean, sure, the chemicals are in it, right? But you're supposed to spray it and then wipe it because when you wipe it after the spray, all of the germs are there. That's my fault. Like if you just spray it and then leave it there, the germs are not gonna get picked up. You have to wipe. It's my fault. And we gotta work on the water. And you guys are definitely gonna get a story video today. Yeah, I mean it's not like a bad day, right? You're just gonna require a story video. That's all. I'm not like sleepy, but there's nothing else to talk about. One thing I do know is that in today Geno Crisis episode, we will be building our brand new operation, a new base. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Gonna get the industrial forage going and all that stuff. So that's something, you know, new base. Something, you know. Well, apparently we also might need to get a mantis. Oh, we might need to get mantis. Do I have to go to Scorch Earth for that? I do. Should be fine. Oh, yeah, I just remembered we do need to get a mantis. I don't think there's any other place to get a mantis besides Scorched Earth. So obviously we're gonna run to an Opulus. Okay, but that's something to do today. Oh yeah, we do need one, maybe. Well, apparently you need a mantis for element veins of the pickaxe. And we also need like death worm horns and rhino horns. Oh, we got a lot of stuff to do today, actually. I think we're gonna build the base first before we actually look into getting a mantis. Yeah, we might even have to go to Extinction to get some corrupted polymer. We got some things to do today. Just realized how much we need to do. How about that's good. So Geno Crisis episode today. Story video as well. Yep. Alright, well, at least now we know what to do. Pretty neat. Though I did do some Overwatch today. Yeah, don't know. Not really. I'm probably still gonna try. We are like on a losing streak currently on Overwatch, like 6 loss streak. I don't know. There's nothing else to talk about, but I do know that we got a lot of things to do on Junior Crisis. And Golden Hour is actually not even that bad right now. There is like, there is 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 2 o'clock, but everyone's a bit split up, so it doesn't really matter. And plus, everyone, I believe, has sound barriers. No, actually, no. Only the 9 o'clock is sound barrier. And we're gonna do the Alpha regime. So today is, today's actually pretty simple, right? Dip, well, we did do light cardio, dips and pull-ups, Alpha regime, delivery work. No, no, sorry. I just realized that we need to really work on that cardio thing. That's why I paused. Yeah, I just realized that we need to do the cardio. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, actually, no. We need to stop doing that sleepwalking because I just realized that we basically burn like negative calories. Oh, actually, yeah, the sleepwalking is actually not good at all. We don't burn enough calories because I just realized that if I want to stream Geno Crisis for the rest of the day, I'll be sitting down for the rest of the day. No other, no other energy burn. But we have been consistently doing stairs, so stairs burn calories. Yeah, because I just realized that today. Oh yeah, we need to stop doing the sleepwalking thing. It's ridiculous. Because I did check the machine, it's like under 100. I'm gonna get sick. Shouldn't chug the water so fast. Wait, so I was listening at what I was gonna do today. Okay, so cardio, dips, empathy regime, food, editing, food again, delivery work, Geno Crisis. Maybe we'll take a break and get some sun, and then more Geno Crisis or Overwatch, and then sleep early, and that's about it. Unless we like, I don't know, adventure somewhere. But where am I gonna go? There's nowhere to go. You know, I've always wanted to go travel, no, not travel, but explore this hill part that's apparently really good for fishing. But I never got to it. I never actually got to it. But there's this like hill spot that I don't know. There's like a hill spot that's apparently really good for fishing. But the only thing is, I never went there because one, it takes around 30. No, it takes like around an hour to drive there. But the reason it takes an hour is because the traffic sucks. Actually, probably will take 2 hours in total back and forth. The second reason is because once you arrive there, it's gonna take probably like another hour or two to walk up the hill. And also apparently it's like near the edge of the ocean, so I might fall in the ocean and die. I'm joking. But it's like pretty much I never explored it before. Could always try though, but it's gonna it'll take like an hour, 2 hours. It'll take 1 hour for the drive. It's gonna take like a 1 to 2 hours for the exploration walk. Another hour to drive. It'll probably take like 2 hours actually to get back because of traffic. Need to check the wind speed. Need to check the weather. but it's definitely like it's gonna be an adventure. I could definitely go there. Do I want to? I don't know, man. Is it? Maybe I'm just maybe I'm just like a person else is inside, but I think I'd rather explore Genocrisis instead. I'll look into it. That is like the only one adventure spot I'll go to. But season's kind of already over, isn't it? January, February, March, April, May, June. Actually, the season's kind of already over for me to explore it though. If I really wanted to explore it, should have gone during summer. Because, yeah, should have gone exploring it during summer. Because summer is when it's like the driest and hottest. So, yeah, actually, matter of fact, fun fact, I haven't actually gone to the hills in months. I haven't even driven there anymore either. I think it's because I'm too busy in the mornings. Yeah, um, that's actually pretty chill. Actually, today was actually way too chill. Obviously because of the sleepwalk, but then the dips and pull-ups we actually had to talk about something. Maybe I'll just go there and prove myself. Is there anyone in there? Nope. Maybe I'll go exploring that spot just to prove myself that I can go on adventures. Well, I can. I don't know. Being locked into digital realms instead. 71.2. Huh. We have scaled all the way back to that. I think I know why. I think I actually, I guess people don't really talk about it, right? But I actually think it's because I barely, I barely excreted it all. As a matter of fact, I think we've been holding it for like not holding it, but like, okay, yeah, people don't really talk about it on camera, but I'll talk about it because I can. It's definitely because I haven't excreted much. Yeah. Matter of fact, it's probably holding 2 days of excretion. That's actually, you know what? That's probably it. Because I didn't eat anything heavy. Matter of fact, it seems like it's actually 2 days worth of excretion. Yeah, people don't really talk about it on camera, but 71.2 kgs is definitely because of the excretion and like capacity, right? Yup. All right. Well, I'll see you guys next time, right? Oh, my mic was over there. Should I go? Should we go exploring again? Or am I gonna do camp on the hill? All right. Appreciate it. See you guys next time, right? Bye bye.
Story time, like I told you guys. All right. Excuse me, Better Knits. I don't want to play Overwatch right now. Not right now. Story 2, lock in. By the way, we did just go on an adventure. I was talking about this morning how we should go to an adventure, and we went there. Did I just get a virus? Cool. Story 2, lock in. I wonder how long this is.
I don't know if this is considered your typical scary story, but it's definitely freaky and very unnerving.
Bit.
The more time that's gone by, the scarier it becomes for me.
How?
I'd love to share it and see what people
Usually
think.
when things go by in time, they get more irrelevant.
It was a few years ago now. I had just broken up with my boyfriend and moved into this cute little apartment. It was an entire apartment complex. The complex itself was beautiful, quiet, and elegant. I quickly made friends with neighbors and several of the other tenants. It was just a nice and friendly little community. A few months into my lease, I thought I heard the sound of running coming from the hallway one night when I was getting ready for bed. I looked out the peephole of the door, but didn't see anything. There weren't any kids in my building, so I couldn't imagine who would be running at that hour. but strange things happen, so I didn't question. The next few nights, I heard the sound again. I didn't get up and look because it just didn't seem that important to me at the time. It's worth noting that my apartment is on the ground level, and my windows face a beautiful courtyard. The door to the apartment is still inside the building, and you need a key to get into the building. It took a little while to get used to the windows being at ground level at first, because if you wanted to, you could come right up to my bedroom window. I will say that I wasn't worried about anybody in this community doing that. I'm just stating that it was something on my mind when I first moved in. However, that information is about to become relevant, because one night, I woke up to what sounded like giggling outside my bedroom window. It was weird for sure, but I just figured some kids were acting stupid and hanging out too close to my window. I tapped the window glass and made a loud shushing noise. The giggling stopped for just a second, and then a faint tapping sound could be heard on the other side of the glass. It freaked me out, but I wasn't about to let some kids have that satisfaction.
What are you even doing there? What are you even doing there? You're female. Single female living in an apartment complex where your bedroom window is basically just open to the entire, like, public, and anyone can just walk past it. Why don't you just go home with your parents? Just go home to your parents. I don't understand.
Over me. Once I composed myself, I grabbed the curtain and whipped it open.
Why?
There was nobody there. I was looking at the quiet night courtyard and nothing more. Even if some kids were out there, I have no idea where they would have gone that fast. I closed the curtain and shrugged it off. I wasn't about to let some kids ruin my sleep. This weird giggling outside my window continued for a few nights. I just learned to ignore it. I have young nieces and nephews, and usually when I ignore their stupid pranks, they stop doing whatever they're doing. That was my plan with these giggling kids. I assumed that if I just stopped acknowledging them, they would stop trying to mess with me, and unless they gave me a reason to report them, I wasn't going to bother the apartment complex manager with this. I think it was 2 days later while I was at work that I received an email from the complex manager. She seemed short in the email. She asked if I could stop at the main office when I got home from work. She had to show me something, and she claimed it was urgent. I told her I could stop by after work. I remember all day long being stressed about it. I was worried my rent money didn't clear or something like that. When I showed up, she told me to lock the door. She started talking quietly, almost in a whisper. This one guy who works in the security office came in and sat next to me. The manager told me that while the security guard was monitoring some footage, he came across this. She showed me security camera footage of the hallway where my apartment is located. Around 2 in the morning, 2 small hooded figures approached my door. They looked about the size of children who were maybe around 10 or 12. They were just standing there in the grainy footage. It looked like they were standing about an inch away from the door. The scariest part of this was that when she fast-forwarded the footage, they didn't move at all. It was nearly 10 minutes of them just standing extremely close to my apartment door. Before they finally walked away, one of the small figures reached for the doorknob and tried opening the door. You can clearly see them jostling the door a few times, but it doesn't open. After the 10 minutes in the video, they skip away from the sight of the camera. I was finally freaked out. Whoever these kids were, they were targeting me for some reason.
'Cause you're a girl.
I told the security officer and the manager about the window incident, but when they looked back at the footage, they found nothing. We still called the police and gave them a statement. They said if anything else happens, give them a call, but at that point, there really was nothing they could do. The security officer...
I mean, at least you've got like a security officer and you got cameras in your building, right? That doesn't make sense. Okay, a floor. Didn't you just say that apartment building can only be entered if someone's got a key card? So if you had security cameras, you would see who scans in to the building, no? So if kids somehow got into the building, you would have seen whose key card it belonged to when they scanned in. And then find him. Isn't that easy? How did the kids, if you had security cameras and you had key cards, then very hard for someone to sneak into the building. You know? Because when someone scans the key card, their entire information comes up to the system and the security cameras capture who enters and who uses it. Right? But they would have... You're telling me they have no more security cameras on where the kids skipped off to?
Attempted to see if they could find out where the kids skipped off to when they left my apartment door, but it's almost like they vanished. They couldn't find them on any other camera on the entire complex.
Cap.
The next night, I decided to stay awake. I was going to catch these kids one way or another. But that night, there was nothing. No giggles and no sounds from the hall. It was about a week later, and I heard something coming from the hall. It was about 1:30 in the morning. I muted the TV and listened intently. I heard the sound of my doorknob rattling around. It was happening. The kids were back at my door. I ran over nervously and yelled for them to get away. I could hear a child laughing, and then another soft child voice whisper, "Mom, we're home. Just open the door and let us in." I didn't say anything. I looked through the peephole and just saw two small figures with their heads down. The voice whispered again, "Please let us in. We're home now. Please." That last please that the child said almost sounded desperate. I didn't care. I yelled that their mother doesn't live here anymore and that I was going to call the cops. Both kids started to giggle. Then the doorknob started to shake again. One of the kids started throwing their body into the door, but it wouldn't budge. I stood there holding the door for a minute. I didn't hear laughing anymore, and the doorknob wasn't shaking. When I looked one last time, nobody was out there. I was still too afraid to open the door, just in case they were just outside of my view. I called the police, and the cops were quick to assume it was just local kids playing a prank on me. I didn't argue with that, because it seemed like the most logical explanation. I finished with my statement, and that was that. A few days later, I ran into the apartment manager in the parking lot. She pulled me aside and asked if I had experienced anything since that last time.
So, when that incident happened and you called the cops, you didn't immediately go to the manager and the security guard and be like, "Hey, yo, this happened last night." Nah, a few days later. Did you not? Inconsistencies of this. Very, very terrible inconsistencies. If that happened at night, why didn't you tell them straight away? You already called the police. Wouldn't the police be notified? Where's the security guard at? Why didn't you install more cameras? Why are you still living there? Should've just went back to your parents' home or something.
I told her no, and that I was sure it was just some local kids.
What?
She made a weird face and told me she wasn't so sure. She told me that the woman who lived in the apartment before me was strange. She didn't give me a whole bunch of information for privacy reasons, but she was fairly confident that something horrible happened with that woman's children. She didn't elaborate or give any details. She didn't even give me the name. She just implied that something horrible happened and left it at that. She said that she had already said too much and she didn't want to get into trouble for sharing personal information. She told me to be careful and just keep locking my doors. I'll never forget her walking away saying, "This wasn't a prank." To my knowledge, I don't think those kids ever visited my apartment again while I was there. I've spent some time trying to figure out exactly what happened, like who these kids were and what the apartment manager meant. Was she implying that these kids were like ghosts or something? I know that seems insane, and
Ow.
I'm sure that's not what it is, but you have to admit, it is strange.
I find it strange that you said at the beginning that the apartment building can only be entered by keycards, yet you cannot. Where's the footage of people scanning in? Doesn't make sense. If you have security cameras and a keycard, then you would have a camera right at the keycard opening. And what do you mean by when the kids skipped off from your door? What is your security cameras? You would see where they went off, no? Like, just inconsistent.
It's weird to me that the police and the security officer couldn't find where these kids went after they left my apartment. Something that dawned on me after I had already moved out was something I had overlooked. There should have been no way for the kids to get inside the apartment building without a key. As I said before, there were no kids that lived in my specific building, So how did they get in? Where did they go? As time goes on and I reflect on this story, I get more freaked out. It's amazing to me that I wasn't more scared in the moment. I'm years removed and don't even live there anymore, and I'm more scared today writing this than I was when I experienced it. I still don't believe in ghosts or anything paranormal, but I can't explain exactly what it was. Neighborhood kids are the easy solution, but the more I replay the memories in my head, the more impossible that seems. I know how this story sounds, but I think it's worth sharing. Maybe I really did have an experience with something not from this world.
But there was security footage of them at your thing, and you heard them shadow and like open your door and stuff. I don't believe that story. Sounds kind of fake. Sounds kind of fake, because like, again, the security cameras and stuff should have picked up the kids. Alright? Should have picked up the kids. And why would the hotel manager just say that and then leave? She's trying to... Not sure, man. Not sure. Is what it is. That's it. Well, we're gonna save the story for next time. Alright? Right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it. Alright, see you guys next time. That was kind of like hella boring, but